Hi guys, welcome back to another fall recipe video. Today I'm making an apple cake, so it's kind of more like an upside down apple cake. So here I just have a round cake pan, pie pan, whatever it is, and then I have some parchment paper that I have sprayed with some cooking spray. My oven is preheated to 325 degrees. And then here I have some chopped up apples. These have been cored, peeled. It's about I did four medium-sized apples, so really depending on what you want. So I'm just going to put those in the bottom of this dish. Okay, now just to make things a little fancy and fun, we are going to add some sugar-free caramel sauce. So this adds an extra point. If you want to leave this out, then this cake is only going to be 1 smart point, but by adding for each slice. But by adding the sugar-free caramel, it's going to be 2 points. So I'm just I have my scale here. I'm just going to measure out 38 grams. Okay, I actually only did end up doing 35, so it's definitely plenty. You might be able to cut that in half and be less points. I don't know, just what I had in my tracker was 38 grams. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and mix up the cake batter part of this. Okay, so in this bowl I'm gonna add in 1 cup of self-rising flour. I just happen to have this is what I had in my pantry, so I don't need to add any baking soda or baking powder. So here's what and if most Weight Watchers people have this in their cupboard right now because of the 2-ingredient dough. So this is the flour I'm using. And then to that, I'm going to add a half a cup of unsweetened applesauce. These little cups are each a half of a cup, so that makes it easy to measure. Okay, and then I have a half a cup of stevia baking blend, so it's just like the granulated stevia sweetener. So it's up to you, whatever kind of sweetener you want to use. You can leave out the sweetener if you'd like. I don't know how it would taste, but completely up to you. And then you want some vanilla, which I don't ever measure vanilla, but about a teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'm doing 1.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. And then I'm going to add in 3 eggs. And then I'm just going to start mixing that all together, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, as I was mixing, I realized I forgot to mention you want to add a 1/4 cup of water as well. And I always like to add my water in just like a tablespoon at a time, just to make sure that I don't need less, just because when you do with any kind of baking, depending on the temperature in your house, sometimes your baked goods need more or less liquid, and humidity has a lot to do with that and all that. So as you can tell, it was exactly a 1/4 cup. So just start with a tablespoon at a time until you get a pretty, it's kind of thick, but it's just a nice consistency. So now we're going to grab the cake pan and we're going to go ahead and get our cake assembled. I apologize in advance if you can hear the cat fight going outside my window. It's really early in the morning and we have cat fights outside of our window constantly. So now I'm going to take our apples and caramel, and I'm just going to put the cake batter right on top. And then you're going to bake this at 325 for about 35 to 40 minutes. I would check it after about 30 minutes. Just make sure the toothpick comes out clean, that kind of test, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, so that took about exactly 30 minutes to cook. I put a toothpick in, it came out clean. And I'm going to let this sit here for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to turn it upside down on a plate. Okay, so my cake has been cooling for about 15 minutes or so, and now I'm just going to put a plate on top. I'm going to flip this over, and then you're just going to peel back the parchment paper, and there you go. And I'm going to go ahead and plate this up, and I'll show you what it looks like. So there you go, guys. Here is the caramel apple cake. So again, if you leave the caramel out, it's only 1 smart point for a slice. If you put it in, it's 2 smart points. I added on some whipped cream here and some pumpkin pie spice and a little bit of extra sugar-free caramel. But of course, that's optional. I just wanted to pretty it up a little bit. I will have the recipe in the description box below. And please let me know if you try this. Tag me on social media if you do. And of course, I was going to tell you too, that is not necessarily to do it upside down. I just did that just for fun to see how it would turn out. This is my first time making this, and it turned out really good. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe.
I see the light inside your eyes. You make me feel like I'm awake.